स्वाध्याय टीवी डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Namaste dear students, I Dr. Himanshu Patel welcome you from the Chaitanya studio of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. We are in lecture series on Java programming. In last session, we have discussed about two selection statement, that is if and switch. We have also discussed various forms of if statement, and we write down three programs that demonstrate use of if and switch. One program we write down is for printing mark sheet of student, and we have calculated result and grade based on certain conditions. We have also write down program for simple calculator using switch statement. So, our today's topic is iteration statement. We today discuss iteration statement that includes while, do while, for, and like one if can be nested inside another if, we can also nested one loop inside another loop. Now, these iteration statements are in general known as a loops in other programming languages. So, we can write down this one loop inside another loop, and it is known as a nested loop. We will also discuss the jump statement. We discuss three jump statement: break, continue and return. So, we will start with iteration statement. What is iteration statement is? As I mentioned earlier, iteration statements are also known as a loops. Java provide three types of loops: for, while and do while. Generally, loop repeatedly executes the same set of instruction until a termination condition is met. That means, to repeat something we can use loop. But why there are three forms of loop statement? So, we discussed one by one, so that you will better understand when to use particular looping statement. So, we will start with while loop statement. The first loop is while loop. The while loop repeats a statement or block while its controlling expression is true. You can see the general form of while loop on screen. We first write down while, and in parenthesis we write down condition, and within curly braces we write down body of loop. Suppose there is only one statement that we want to repeat, these curly braces are optional, but suppose you want to use compound statement for body of loop, then you have to write down these curly braces. Condition is any expression that returns a Boolean value. So, it is a expression which returns Boolean value, and if that value is true, the body of loop is executed, and when this condition is false, the loop will terminate. So, the body of the loop will be executed as long as the conditional expression is true. Now, what will happen if for the first time this condition is false? The loop won't execute. It means while can also be considered as a entry control loop. That means entry inside while loop is controlled by this condition. If it is false, the while loop may not be executed for single time also. So, this is a while loop. Now, we take one example how this loop works. So, you will better understand that how it works. Now, suppose I want to print counter value from 1 to 10, I can use this while loop. Now, my starting value is 1 and end value is 10. So, here I declare two variables, integer n which is assigned to 10 initially, and for iteration we have variable I which is initialized to 1. Our condition is that we want to display from 1 to 10. So, I is 1 and until I becomes 10 we have to repeat this body of loop. Now, inside this while loop we write down system.out.println which prints the current value of I. Now, remember initial value of I is 1, that means condition is true. So, loop will executed and it prints counter is equal to 1. Now, next time I is incremented by 1. So, now value of I becomes true. Again while we will check this condition 2 is less than or equal to 10. So, it will print counter is equal to 2. Now, these will continue until I becomes 11, and when I becomes 11 the condition becomes false and loop will terminate. So, now let us have look at it how it produced output. So, on screen you can see initially it prints counter is equal to 1, then I becomes 2 and condition is true. So, it prints counter equal to true, then I becomes 3 and condition is true. So, it prints 3. Now, these will continue when counter becomes or I becomes 11. Now, once I is 11, that 11 is not less than or equal to 10. So, condition becomes false and loop will terminate. So, this is how while loop works. As I mentioned earlier, while loop is an entry control loop. That means, if condition is false, then loop won't execute. So, sometimes we need a loop which should be executed for at least once. For example, if you are entering some data entry, then for the first time we enter data and next time we will ask user whether he want to continue entering data or not. So, in these kind of situation in which we want to execute loop at least for once, we can use do while loop. So, our next loop is do while loop. So, on screen you can see do while loop general form. So, do while loop always executes its body at least once, because its conditional expression is at the bottom of the loop. Remember, in while we have condition at the beginning of loop, in case of do while we have condition at the end of loop. So, loop is executed at least for the once or otherwise condition is false. So, these works very similar to while loop. The only difference is that while may or may not be executed for the first time, but do while always executed for the first time. As we mentioned earlier, if the condition expression is true, the loop will repeat, otherwise the loop terminates, and the body of loop may be single statement or compound statement. Now, we take previous example how these loop behaves. So, here n is 10 and I is 1 and condition is at the end. So, it will directly enter into the loop and system.out.println prints counter is equal to 1, because value of I is initially 1. So, it will print counter equal to 2. Now, I is incremented by 1. So, I becomes 2, but 2 is still less than or equal to 10. So, condition is true. So, again loop will executed and it prints counter is equal to 2. Now, these will continues until the counter or I becomes 10. So, once it displays counter is equal to 10, I becomes 11 and these condition written inside while becomes false and loop is terminated. So, this is how do while loop works. We have taken same example, so that you can better understand how different loop works on same problem. So, we have important distinction between while and do while. One is while is a entry control loop and do while is exit control loop. While may or may not be executed at least once, but we can certainly say do while will execute for at least once. The third loop is the most powerful loop provided by Java, which is for loop. So, we discuss what is for loop is. You can see on the screen the general form of for loop. Now, generally for loop is used when we want to repeat something for finite number of times, 1 to 10, 1 to 100, 100 to 200 and so on. So, to repeat for the fixed number of times we can use for loop. Now, in for loop we have three parts, for and in parenthesis we write down three parts separated by semicolon. The first part is called initialization. Inside initialization we generally initialize some counter variable to some initial value. So, initialization is only executed when loop starts first, and remember initialize executed only once. Next time loop repeats, initialization will not executed. It is only executed when loop is executed for the first time. The second part is condition. So, again condition is a Boolean expression which evaluates to either true or false, and if this expression is true, then the body of the loop is executed. If it is false, the loop will terminate. So, in condition we write down variable value compared to some final value, so that we can decide whether we want to terminate loop or not. Remember condition is evaluated every time loop repeats. So, this is repeated until this condition is false. The last part is called iteration, and this is usually an expression that increments or decrement the loop control variable. So, we can say for is the most powerful loop which includes all three parts at same place, that is initialization, condition and iteration. Again we take previous example so that you can better understand. Now, we look at the same problem using for loop. So, here on screen you can see we have declared integer variable n and I, and inside for loop in initialization part we write down I is equal to 1. So, when loop is executed for first time I becomes 1. Next is a condition. We want to repeat this loop until I becomes 10. So, here I write down I less than or equal to n, which is 10, and in increment part we write down I plus plus, that means we want to increment value of I each time loop is executed, and inside loop we want to display the value of I or counter variable. So, we write down counter is equal to value of I. Now, how this loop works, let us understand. So, initially I is equal to 1. Now, remember it never executed again. So, counter is 1. Next it checks condition, 1 is less than or equal to 10. So, condition is true. So, loop will be executed and value of I is incremented by 1, but since is a postfix increment operated, current value of I is still 1. So, counter is equal to 1 will be printed and then value of I will be used is 2. So, 2 is less than or equal to 10 and I becomes 3 next time. So, it will print counter is equal to 2. Now, these will repeated until counters become 10 and then these condition which is 11 less than or equal to 10 is false. So, loop will terminated. So, this is how we can use 3 types of loop: while, do while and for loop. Now, we want to conclude that for loop is used when we want to execute some code for finite number of times. Do while we can use when we want to perform data entry operations, and we can use while loop when the how many times loop will execute is not finite. For example, I want to read data from file. So, I cannot predict how much time I have to read data from file until end of file encounters. So, in that case we can use while loop. While loop for infinite time, or we do not predict in advance how many time loop will be executed, at that time we use while. For data entry operation we use do while, and for fixed number of time we will use for loop. Next we discuss jump statement supported by Java. We want to discuss nested loop. Now, nested loop is what? One loop inside another loop. You can also write down 4 inside 4, 4 inside while, or 4 inside do while. The combination is as per requirement. Here we have one example of nested loop where we write down one loop, one for loop inside another for loop. Now, how it works we want to understand. So, outer for loop is indicated by red line and inner for loop is indicated by blue line. So, for first time outer loop will be executed and value of I is initially 1. Now, these loop will be repeated for 5 times because our condition is I less than or equal to 5 and initial value of I is 1. So, we can say outer loop will be executed for 5 times. Now, inner loop is executed from 1 to I. That means, for first time it will be executed for 1 time, next time I becomes 2. So, inner loop will executed for 2 times, next time I becomes 3. So, inner loop will be executed 3 times, next time 4 times, and in last it will be executed for the 5 times. So, initially value of I is 1 and inner loop will be executed for 1. So, what it will print is value of I, and value of I is 1. So, it will print 1. Now, once this inner loop finished, we have write down system.out.println. So, it will move our cursor to next line and outer loop will continue. So, value of I becomes 2, but this time inner loop will be executed for 2 times and it prints 2 times the value of I, which is 2. So, it will print 2 times and the system.out.println will move cursor to the next line. So, these third time it prints 3 times, and when I is 4 it prints 4 times, and in last it prints value of I, which is 5 for 5 times, and then inner as well as outer loop finished. So, this is how nested loop works. You can use one loop inside another loop and in any combination. Here we take example of for loop only, but we can have while inside for, for inside while and so on, and there is no restriction on nesting of loop, that you have to remember. Now, we again come back to jump statement. So, Java supports 3 jump statement: break, continue and return. Now, in general these statement transfer control to another part of your program. We have already discussed these break statement. We have used these break inside switch statement. So, you are familiar with the use of break statement. So, what is break statement? We can say there are 3 uses of break statement. First, it is used to terminate a statement sequence in a switch statement, that we have already discussed. Another use of break statement is it can be used to exit a loop. For example, if I write down if some condition and then break. So, when that condition is true, the loop will be terminated prematurely. So, another use is to exit a loop. And third, it can be used as a form of go to. So, these are the use of break statement. Another is continue statement. As its name suggests, skip some portion of loop and continue. So, in while and do while loops, a continue statement causes control to be transferred directly to the conditional expression that controls the loop. So, before continue, after continue, if there are certain statements are written, they are skipped and control is transferred to the beginning of loop. In a for loop, control goes first to the iteration portion of the for statement and then to the conditional expression. So, for all 3 loops, any intermediate code is bypassed. That means, suppose I write down some code after continue, it may be skipped when continue is executed. The last jump statement is return statement. Now, we will use return when we discussed method, but still we can understand return with simple example. So, what is use of return statement? The return statement is used to explicitly return from a method. The return statement immediately terminates the method in which it is executed. Now, we are familiar with main method. So, here I write down main method and inside main method I write down system.out.print and it prints this is before return. After that I write down return statement and after return I write down this is after return. So, what will happen? It prints this is before return and since immediately after we write down return, the main loop is terminated. So, this is after return won't execute because we have terminated main method by writing return statement. So, this is how return works. We will discuss this return statement when we discuss methods in detail. So, today we have discussed 3 types of loop supported by Java with its syntax and example, and how can we write nested loop. We have also discussed 3 types of jump statement, namely break, continue and return. We will discuss one more loop called for each loop when we learn array. Now, these for each loop is a generally used with array. So, we will discuss this for each loop when we discussed array. Now, we write down some real world problem using these iteration statement in next lecture. You can try these code right inside main method that we have discussed in this session and execute and better understand all three loop structure. I hope you enjoy this session. Thank you and happy learning.
स्वाध्याय टीवी